to Black and White Banter, you lovely Newcastle fans. I've just landed in Newcastle, just got off the metro, just about to walk up St James's Park for what is, as I said on my match preview, this is the bread and butter. I do have my suitcase packed. I am jetting off to Milan tomorrow night for a very unfortunate layover in Dublin. So anyone who's on a Sunday night Newcastle to Dublin flight, let me know. I will be in Milan on Monday. I cannot wait. But we need to think about the league. We've had a really, really poor start, a difficult start. And when I say poor, the performances have been good, but we need to get a win today. And I'm not saying it's must win. That maybe sounds like I am. I'm not saying that, but we need a performance after Brighton because that was poor. And we need, ideally, to start what is a huge week for Newcastle. Exciting, really exciting, but huge with 3 points. 5:30 kick-off under the lights. Brentford, very good team. I expect them to let us have lots of the ball. Again, as I said on my match preview, it's going to be a different animal we're facing today, but I do think we can get over the line. I'm confident. I'm going to go and sink a beer. Team news, I think Eddie Howe's going to rest some players ahead of the Champions League. I think that's why our squad has been kept as it is. We didn't sell many players in the summer, so I'm interested to see what team he goes with today based off the opposition and who he might be resting for Tuesday. But without further ado, let's get over there. But before we do get over to St James's Park, Newcastle fans, if you're watching this right now, give us a little likey Lou, and if you like this match vlog by the end, whack that subscribe button. But let's get over to St James's Park and get amongst it. Away the lads! Team news has just dropped. He's gone with 5 changes. Now, I understand it. As I said at the start of this video, AC Milan on Tuesday, I get that he needs to make changes. I just don't agree with all of them now. For me, Alexander Isak, the quality of him, he should never be on the bench. I feel like he's one of our best players, there's no way. But if we win today and then we go to AC Milan with players rested, I'm happy with that. Defensively, he's gone with Dan Burn. I'm a bit concerned against Mbuemo and the pace that Brentford have, so we'll see how that one pans out. And Elliot Anderson, wouldn't it be amazing to see him have an absolute blinder? I would be buzzing. So it's going to be exciting to watch him, and of course Longstaff is back in. Not too happy with the news about Joe Linton. Apparently he's gone to Barcelona with a knee injury. That's going to be a massive loss for Newcastle. Fingers crossed that's not as serious as what we read on social media. So I will keep my fingers and my toes crossed with that one. I still think we've got enough in the tank to see these off. We've got all those options that he's rested on the bench. Almiron's on the bench. Isak's on the bench. We need 3 points. We do. It feels that way. We're not used to this losing 3 matches crack. So let's get up there now. Let's get amongst it, and hopefully with those changes we have a bit of a spring that maybe we've lacked in the last couple of weeks. Do you know what, right? Ever since I've started walking this way to the match, we've started losing football matches. So I should probably mix it up. So if we lose today, it's because I'm going around the back of the stadium and not the front, so I'm just going to apologise now for that.
In recent days, all Premier League clubs will pay their respects to them who lost their lives and all those affected in a period of silence. This will begin and end on the referee's whistle.
Half-time 0-0. We're just lacking a little bit of something. We really are. A bit of zip in that midfield, moving the ball fast, that intensity. We're not really seeing it. I think Brentford started the game much better the first 10 minutes, and I was a little bit worried, that pace that I talked about. They've got that in abundance and our defence doesn't. I thought Dan Burn, as much criticism as he's been getting recently at left back in the first half, I thought he was solid, didn't really do much wrong. Obviously he doesn't offer much in the attacking point of view. Elliot Anderson, a little bit quiet. I didn't want Harvey Barnes in for this game in particular, not because I think he's a bad player, just because of who we were playing, and he hasn't really seen enough of the ball in that first half, so that was a little bit disappointing. Bruno probably should have scored, but we're just not creating clear-cut chances at the moment. Wilson's been a little bit isolated, and I just feel that movement between midfield to our forward three is just not there, that link up between the two sets of three. Big second half coming up, really big second half with that AC Milan game in mind on Tuesday. Let's crank it up a notch. We've got some big substitutes, some really big substitutes on that bench. Let's get this win, let's get this over the line to set us up for a really big week. I'm going to stay confident, but it wasn't the best of halves. So here the lads.
Come on, Callum, son. Come on. Don't miss this one. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Never a good sign when the referee gets called to the monitor. Just give it. Just give it. Oh. Oh, well, just give it. If you're not sure, just give it, man. Just give it. Just give it. Ah, what a lot of shite.
Come out the stadium. I'm joined by Joel, who, funnily enough, when I said hello to him, actually watches black and white banter. So already I know this guy's an absolute legend. Right, what did you think of that, mate? First and foremost, got the result.
Got the result. 3 points. Definitely needed the 3 points. Still tough though, wasn't it?
Well, we were just talking. Obviously, don't mean to sound negative because we did get the result, which was important. But if we never got that penalty, their goalkeepers had very little to do.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, trying to think of how many actually shots we had. 2, 3 from open play.
That might be generous, actually.
I think maybe, yeah. Rough, a little bit rough, but like you say, 3 points.
Yeah, it is. And normally when it's a win, I would say, you know, what were the best things about today? But it wasn't really one of them wins. So where would you say? Yes, we won, but where would you say we were maybe lacking today in what we were just talking about with regards to chances, just that flow in football that we didn't really see today?
I felt like we struggled in midfield a little, and I struggled to see Elliot Anderson. I didn't really see Elliot.
I thought he was poor today.
Yeah, I just didn't see him.
It wasn't the same Elliot Anderson we saw in pre-season.
Definitely not, which was a shame because I was looking forward to him starting actually.
Everybody
I was looking forward to
it.
Yeah, I was looking forward to it, but let down really. But
Longstaff back in, how do you think he did? I thought he looked pretty. I think he showed why we've missed him in areas today.
Definitely got stuck in, which is what we needed. Definitely, a little clumsy at times maybe, but yeah, glad that he was there. To be fair,
And Mr. Barnes
put an effort in, I'd say. Struggled at times, but he put a shift in. He put a shift in.
There's a common theme there when I'm asking you about different players struggling, and at the moment when I'm processing this match, I still kind of put my finger on what we're struggling with.
It's I want to say it's the creativity, but it shouldn't be the creativity.
That's an element.
Do you know what I mean?
Definitely an element.
I don't know. We can't.
We're not. I don't think we're moving the ball very fast.
We're not. We just stood there, passed it around the front, and it's like, come on then, try and get in there. Like, we're not clinical enough. We're not deadly enough. Like, they need to start putting people to the sword. I think, because just standing around being polite at the edge of the box, it's not working. Clearly, you know.
Eddie Howe clearly doesn't like to shoot, does he? That must be an instruction from the training ground.
Maybe it just. There's a couple of chances that we could have took from a distance. That, maybe we should have, didn't.
But on a more positive note, we've got the small little matter of AC Milan at the San Siro on Tuesday. So we did get the win, which is a good start to a big week.
3 points.
How are you feeling about AC Milan in the Champions League?
I'm feeling like a draw, a confident draw.
I'll take that right now.
I'd take a 1-1. Might be.
And what does it mean for you as a fan to be back in the Champions League? To even be talking about being in the Champions League?
It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. I can't believe it. Like, it still doesn't feel real, does it?
You're just saying you're hopefully going to get over to Dortmund.
We're going to try, yeah. We're going to try. Not going to break Milan, unfortunately, but
short notice for everyone.
Very short notice. But I'm definitely going to give Dortmund a go. Yeah.
Right, I've just stopped Paul there. Very kindly stopped to speak to us. Paul, I just said you look like a very wise man. Give me some of your wisdom about what you thought about that performance, because it's not very often I come away from a match where we've won, but there's still plenty to talk about that needs improving on.
It was hard work, I think there was a lack of confidence based on the previous results, and the players were tentative. And at the end of the day, the ground out result really, with a penalty, which the penalty was deserved, but there weren't many chances for either team in the game. And Brentford are a good team. They play football, so I'm pleased with the result.
What were the main positives from today, apart from the result, obviously?
The main positives were the fact, and the result was the main thing, but in fact the result was everything.
I agree.
Because
big week.
Yeah, if we'd lost today, that would have been 4 losses in 5 games, and now it's only 3 losses in 5 games, and we can move forward from here.
Are you going over to Milan?
I'm not going over. I'm giving my ticket away.
Oh, right.
I've got problems with my knee at the minute. So
right, there's a lot of steps to get up that stand as well. So I hear.
I was at Inter Milan in 1968.
Wow.
When we won the first cup.
Wow, that is that is an amazing story.
Yeah, that was a long time ago, but
so you do have some stories.
Well, I was there. I went to all the home games, not many of the away games, but
right.
If somebody had said to me in 1969, "You'll never see Newcastle win anything again in the rest of your life,"
no, let's stay positive. Let's stay positive. Crisis? What crisis? Yes, we are over the line with 3 points in what feels like quite a long time since we've got 3 points, which isn't a statement I've made very much under Eddie Howe. How would I sum up that performance? It depends what eyes and what pair of glasses you want to look through. On one side, the result was really important, and I'll stand by that statement. It was a very gritty game. It was a get over the line, especially after 3 defeats, to stop the rot almost and get a clean sheet, which we have not had for a very long time, was important. And that's why I'm coming out that stadium absolutely over the moon about. But at the same time, if you take that penalty away, very well taken penalty by Mr. Callum Wilson, by the way, if you take that away, we have not created very much in that game. And that word created and lack of is becoming a very common theme with a lot of these videos I'm doing this season. And it's still very early. And we did batter Villa. So let's not forget about that game on the opening match. But then Man City, hardest place to go. Liverpool, we created a couple of chances here and there. Brighton, we were poor. So I'm not going to look into that lack of creativity too much. But on a day like today, I'm just a little bit concerned that that goalkeeper was not tested very much. But I'm not going to dwell on that too much because it is so early in the season. And we've got the Sheffield Uniteds, we've got the Burnleys, we've got the Wolves. I can't remember the fixture list off the top of my head. Sorry, my nose is dribbling away. The summer is officially over, by the way, if anyone watching this who isn't in Newcastle. But yeah, I thought there was still a lot of positives today. Defensively, I thought we were a lot more solid. Dan Burn has come in for a lot of criticism recently. Maybe rightly so, you could argue. He was back at left back today, and I tell you what, I think Dan Burn barely put a foot wrong. I really don't think he did much wrong. I thought he was solid. I thought he won pretty much every aerial battle as you'd maybe expect. An 8'5" beanpole to win. But I just thought he was sound. He didn't do very much wrong at all. So that was a positive. Sven Botman back in the team. Massive positive. We know how much we miss him when he's not in the team. Blow it away! Blow it away! There you go. There's always someone coming down the steps shouting something. That's what I like. This is why this is one of my favourite spots to do my videos. Yeah, I thought defensively we were really solid. Longstaff came back in. I think Longstaff, as that gentleman, Paul, lovely bloke by the way, it was lovely speaking to him, he summed it up perfectly when he said he's proved more when he wasn't in the team than when he actually is in the team how much he's been missed. And I agree with that. But I thought today he did do some of that dirty work. I thought Bruno had a slightly better performance. I didn't think Bruno was great. There is still something a little bit off with him in terms of what we know he can do on the football pitch. But with Longstaff in the side, I thought Bruno was in and around the box a little bit more. He was passing the ball a little bit more. He was taking a man on a little bit more in little pockets of space, and he was better. Elliot Anderson, I think for me, I'm not going to say he was the biggest disappointment because that's so harsh on such a young lad, but we did not see the Elliot Anderson today who we saw pre-season. Whether that's because he lost that momentum, whether it's because it's certainly a more high-pressure situation with the run of form we've been in to be at St James's Park in the Premier League, I don't know. But we didn't see that real creative Maradona, let's say the Geordie Maradona, we didn't see that today. But that's not me worrying too much about him. It's nice to have options, and he still contributed to us winning the match. Anthony Gordon is proven to be a very, very important player for us so far this season. He's making things happen. He's dragging defenders around. He was still running in the 90th minute, chasing balls down in the corner. He was brilliant for me. I'm not saying he always has quality in the final third, but he was good. Harvey Barnes, I was a little bit unsure about him coming in for this match, and for large parts so it proved. There was one moment in the second half when a ball was played over the top for him, when he was on the move, and it worked perfectly. Harvey Barnes, when a defence plays a little bit deeper like Brentford did today, I'm not sure he was suited. I said it in my match preview, and I thought so it proved. Callum Wilson, for me, man of the match. Man of the match. I thought Callum Wilson coming back into the team today, just signed a 1-year contract, was absolutely brilliant. Putting himself about, holding the ball up, running in pockets of space, running the channels. He was very, very good, and I think he deserves that 1-year contract. I said when I saw the teams, Isak should not be not starting for this Newcastle team, how good he is. But hey, Callum Wilson did us a fantastic bit of work today, and his penalty under pressure, 0-0 in the second half, was brilliant. So he was definitely my man of the match. Look, we go on to Milan. I'm going to Milan literally in 24 hours time. I will be in the airport about to set off to Dublin from Newcastle. Do I think we can go to Milan and pick up something? In the Champions League, it's so unknown for me, I don't know. It's going to be unknown for the players, it's going to be unknown for the manager. AC Milan, I don't know how they've got in the Milan derby. They've got a huge game this weekend, their biggest of the season. I'm still not seeing enough of this Newcastle team to feel like we're going to get anywhere near the heights of last year, but it is still so early, and I do think Eddie Howe is bedding in Tonali, he's bedding in Barnes, he's bedding in Hall and Livramento, who haven't even kicked the ball for us yet. I think Livramento's had about 5 minutes of football. This is a process. Last season it was a process. Today we got over the line, and I felt something in that second half. I don't know, I can't put my finger on what I felt. I felt a unity between the fans down to the pitch. That grittiness, Gordon celebrating in the corner in the last couple of minutes, the players getting in the referees' faces. There was a gritty determination from the back line all the way to the forward line to get over the line, pick up 3 points and move forward from here. Yes, we didn't create very much. Yes, there's certainly so many areas for us to improve, but we got over the line after 3 defeats in a row, and that was the most important thing today. I'm going to stay positive going down to Milan. I'm always positive, unless I get absolutely shut on like we did at Brighton the other week. I'm always generally positive. I'm about to get on a plane to watch Newcastle United at the fucking San Siro. It'd be lucky if I managed to hold back the tears after I've filled my face with Moretti and pizza. So Newcastle fans, let me know your thoughts in the comments on that Brentford performance. Plenty to work on, but also plenty to be happy about. The next video you might see is me travelling to Newcastle Airport, because we're all going to Milan. I'll see you on the next one, where hopefully I've touched up on my Italian, and I will be 6 or 7 pints deep on a canal with 5,000 other Geordies. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, Newcastle fans. We are back to winning ways. How are the lads?